Hello and welcome to Steptoe and Son, a podcast based at Mews Cottage, 26A, Aldrum Lane, Shepherd's Bush. This is the home of the world's most famous rag and bowmen, or as Harold would say,
Salvage Recovery Operative.
My name is Darren.
And I'm his co-host Si, also known as Two of the Three Comedians podcast that we co-host along with the amazing Tom from One Foot in the Podcast. You might also know me from Don't Forget Your Goodbye Gherkins, the Men Behaving Badly rewatch podcast. It's all things MBB related.
I've also been previously a guest on the Jolly Boys podcast, All Things Only Fools and Horses. As you've guessed it, our favourite sitcom is Steptoe and Son. The show ran for 8 series on BBC from 1962 to 1974 and even spawned 2 feature films. Such was the series' popularity in the mid-1960s that the cast specially recorded several episodes for BBC Radio.
In the year 2000, the show was ranked number 44 on the 100 greatest British television programmes compiled by the British Film Institute. The 2001 Channel 4 poll, Albert was ranked 39th on their list of the 100 greatest TV characters.
We plan to review episodes, chat to fans of the show, and maybe even chuck in the odd quiz. We hope you enjoy listening. Please check out the pod on Spotify, Insta, Twitter, and all other platforms.
All right, mate. How you going?
Si is here. All right?
Yeah, not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Do you know what? It's the first time you've come on, and you're not muted. I'm not to piss about with the sound, so well done.
Brilliant, mate. Finally, 5 weeks in, and we've sorted it.
It's only taken us a month and a half.
How you feeling, mate? You feeling better?
Yeah, do you know what? It was a week ago yesterday, so yeah, 8 days of it I had, but I still got something now, but I'm much better than I was.
That's good then. Yeah. It seems to still be doing the rounds, doesn't it? Like we've had staff dropping all over the place. So.
It's just draining. It was like at least about 4 days really. It's just feeling drained and hot and sweating and moaning and
yeah.
Go on to our snooker section of the pod.
Fantastic. Hey.
Yeah. So yeah, I think what's it called, the Riyadh tournament going on in Saudi Arabia.
That's right. So yeah, no, it's nice to see it going out to a few different places. Obviously, snooker tends to be sort of locked in Europe and Middle East. So yeah, it's nice to see it going out. Somewhere different. Questionable whether it's got any legs to carry on. I mean, I suppose let's see how it goes on. But this golden ball one's interesting. We were discussing it, weren't we? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, do you know what? I've literally seen a couple of clips because I haven't had a chance today, and I think it's on Eurosport. But so they put the golden ball in line with a brown spot at the top of the bulk cushion, so that touches the bulk cushion, and then as soon as there's no chance of a 147, the referee picks it up and puts it on a little velvet cushion at the back.
Oh gosh!
Wow. which I thought was a bit. Yeah, it's got its own little cushion.
I mean, that's fancy, isn't it? That is. Wow. Yeah.
So that
would have happened to Alex Higgins Day. They'd probably been like,
he'd knock it over, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He'd stub a fag out on it, wouldn't he?
or he'd pick it up and lob it at the ref's head or something. So.
Oh god. Yeah, he'd probably do a line off the cushion. Yeah. So I think the plan is that it's supposed to encourage 147s because if you score do 147 and then pop the golden ball, it's 20 points. So it's a 167, and then it's £350,000.
I mean, that's not to be sniffed at.
No, it's got Ronnie out there and all the other players, but like I said, the format is mental because they've had a couple of players that had wild cards, and it was like a big rush on, we need to get these points, to qualify and to go over there. And then the weekend, 2 days before the tournament, they let in John Higgins and another player, I think it was. They just let in 2 extra players.
Yeah, that seems a bit
that's mad.
Mad, doesn't it, really? Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, if you're expected to play somebody, sort of smaller, and then suddenly you've got John Higgins in there. That's
what's happened to Mark Williams. He initially had a wild card, so I've read, and now he's got, I think, John Higgins. So
okay.
But
has Luca Brissell's got a pass? Because I was having a look at the schedule. It looks like he's straight into the quarterfinals. I wonder, as world champion, they put him straight in as quarterfinals.
Possibly.
Yeah, I just wonder that, so because it was one of those tournaments where they've already mapped out the route And I think it's something like, whoever wins the Ronnie match will play the winner of the Sean Murphy match, which could be a
Yeah.
nice, interesting setup again. Those two.
Oh God, yeah.
But yeah, after Ronnie's showing at the Players' Championship, that was whitewashed by Selby. That was not good, was it?
6-0, yeah, it was. And he never
painful.
looked in it. Like a couple of times he scored 50 odd, but
yeah,
he just didn't look right.
But then he did say, after he won the Masters, he said, "Well, it's all about Sheffield now." So I think he just sort of goes to these tournaments and knows he has to play, and it's his bread and butter to turn up and get an entrance, a fee for turning up. But he's not really that bothered, I suppose.
No, because he didn't enter the Welsh Open, did he?
No, that's right. I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Nor Trump, and he's from Bristol. You think he'd enter the Welsh Open, but I don't know.
Which is a tough one, isn't it? Because these guys, all right, they don't owe the game anything, particularly Ronnie. He's won so much and done so much for the game. But if you were a Welsh fan, and all right, it's not impossible to get to other places in the country. But if it's on your doorstep and it's a chance for him to see him, to miss out on that because he withdraws, it must be frustrating.
Yeah, especially when
you buy months in advance, don't you?
Oh yeah, I was going to say they're selling tickets 6 months ago, and you think, because I've seen my first. Well, I think the first match I went to was 2009, and it was Ronnie versus Selby final at the Welsh Open.
Wow, great one.
And it was the final frame decider. So, I mean, so if he's not going to enter stuff like that, I mean, it was years ago. And he's 48 now, so he don't give a monkeys really, does he? But,
no,
but I don't know. I think it's a bit.
I do remember in lockdown or just after lockdown, they were playing everything. Like was it the Celtic Manor?
Oh yeah, they did that. And it was on a place in Milton Keynes as well.
That's right. Yeah, they sort of hired the Morningside Arena or Milton Keynes, the Milton Keynes Dome or Bowl or something. Yeah, they literally sort of had the same venue for pretty much everything. Yeah,
the Celtic Man is interesting because they built the ICC next to it. It's the International Conference Centre, and they hold sort of comic cons. They do like pantomimes. There's an ice skating show, so that is a good potential to hold snooker tournaments, and it's right on the M4. You literally spark on the M4, yards off it, so easy access. But
it's good. It's good. Beats Crawley Leisure Centre, mate. Beats Crawley Leisure Centre, which Ronnie famously went on a rant about, didn't he? Was people turn up for swimming lessons and he was being interviewed next door or something. And
it is weird, isn't it? Because funny enough, like that match I said I first went to, that was the Newport Live Arena, which is also the swimming pool. But I like the intimate little venues. But it is weird when you got kids in armbands queuing up next to snooker players. And
this is it, isn't it? It's different, but
But he's not.
Yeah, well, we'll keep a close eye on this tournament then and see what happens. It's only on for a few days, isn't it? Does it finish on?
Short format.
Wednesday or Thursday, isn't it? So it'll be interesting to see how well it's attended, and that might be a yardstick for the game. I know Saudi Arabia's making great strides, isn't it, to really sort of modernise and I don't really follow wrestling anymore, but they've got involved with WWE, haven't they, and stuff like that.
A few things on there, but that's what I mean. They'll throw money at it, ridiculous amounts of money. So, but that's the snooker section bit.
There we go. Yeah, cut Chaz and Dave off there.
Cut that. But so we're now on to Series 5, Episode 1, Death in the Family.
Absolutely.
With the All Stars, bless him.
Yeah, old Hercules. Kind of like a unsung hero of the first 4 series. He's sort of always,
he is.
Mostly appears in the title bits, doesn't he? Here and there. Wonder if it's the same horse the whole time. It'd be interesting.
Well, I don't know if it was the same one, but I know the horse was called Dolly. It was actually called Dolly. And I had a little sort of research, and it was owned by Arthur and Chris Arnold.
Oh, right.
Apparently, they were actual rag and bone men that had that horse.
Wow.
But there's very little about them. I sort of researched, but I couldn't find hardly anything on them.
Yeah.
Whether they were the inspiration for it, I doubt it. But it was a horse. But
and something we haven't really talked about is how well Harry H. Corbett handles the horse, because he does a lot of exterior shooting out and about. I mean, the start of this episode, he's on a street with cars on, and he looks really calm, doesn't he? I suppose maybe there's not much to it. I don't know. I've never really been involved with horses or anything like that, so I don't know how hard they are to ride, steer, I suppose, or whatever you call it. But he does well, doesn't he? He never looks out of place.
Well, I tell you what, should we hit play?
Let's hit play, mate. Yes,
because I think he starts off like so. The bit of information we've got is this was aired Friday, March the 6th, 1970. So we've got a big gap, a 5-year gap between.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is surprising, really. I mean, it's a bit like Only Fools with the 97 to 2002 gap.
That's right. Yeah. Right. And similar with the Royals. I know you and Tom pointed it out, didn't you? You said similar sort of time jump, wasn't there? Which is weird, isn't it? Yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, it is. It's a long old gap, and so we've got when Hercules. When Hercules the horse dies, Albert takes to his bed. Harold buys another horse, which he names Samson. But then this horse also appears to fall ill. When Albert gets up to tend to the horse, he finds out that the illness is actually a pregnancy, and Samson is a mare after all. Rather than call her Delilah, the name Hercules II is chosen.
Come on, get that car out of the way there. Stand back, please. Hello. What's happened here then?
Oh, thank God, officer. It's my horse.
Oh, what's wrong with it?
I think he's dead.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. We can't have a dead horse blocking up the Queen's Highway. It's rush hour. You'll have to shift him.
Well, I can't carry him.
Then we'll have to get the abattoir to send a van down, won't we?
The abattoir? Oh, yes, I suppose so.
Oh, now, can I have your name and address, please, sir?
Harold Steptoe, The Mews Cottage, Oil Drum Lane.
Oh, I see. And what was the name of the deceased?
Oh, Hercules.
Have you got the street trader's license?
Yeah, I don't.
So these opening scenes, obviously, we've gone from the horse being all right to the horse on its side. I don't know if you noticed when you watched this. Obviously, I've got it muted, but there was laughter. I don't know what you felt about that, mate. I don't know. It just seemed very misplaced.
Yeah, I think because the audience already knows them. If this was, say, series 1, episode 1,
true,
it would be really sad, wouldn't it? Like you wouldn't be laughing at a dead horse.
Yeah, I don't know if I read it in the book somewhere about that. I seem to have picked up on this before. That this laughter, it's almost sort of, I don't know. Yeah, whether it's a mistake, I don't know. The canned laughter they put in there.
Yeah, it seems a bit like like with American shows, they tend to go overboard on it. It just feels a bit like that. But I mean, it's definitely not a funny opening. I mean,
no, it's very somber and it's quite depressing, really, isn't it? It's his livelihood and his companion.
Yeah, I like the way the horse is lying on the ground. Though he's supposed to be dead, but he's still like snorting out.
Yeah.
You can see the air coming out of his nostrils.
So we talked a little bit off pod about the history of this being like black and white. Sorry, colour originally, and then only existing as black and white. But you did say it's on YouTube, didn't you, in colour? So that's worth.
Yeah, it's been colorized. It's not like fantastic quality, but it's okay. It's clearer. And it does make a difference with a bit of colour to it.
This is it. Like I said to you, I find this series a little less memorable just because of the fact the quality was just a bit off, and it just made it slightly less enjoyable to watch. Not that I'm saying they're bad, but I just don't, wasn't a go-to series for me. This, so
no, I think it does. It like the black and whites. It does put a lot of people off. I don't know why. I think it's just the latter series of just bright color and is more for gags in it. But
it's ironic. This was a sort of comeback in color. Yeah, it only exists in black and white at the minute. Aside from the colorized version. So yeah,
that's crazy. But yeah, so the 5-year gap we've had. So going on, we've got Galton and Simpson apparently went to America twice. Because I think we talked about the last episode that they did a pilot in about 1965.
That's right.
I think it was.
That's right. Yeah.
But it didn't go anywhere. It just sort of nothing happened with it. And then I did read in that Robert Ross book that they went back out to America twice. They were a bit frustrated because there wasn't a lot going on. But one of the names that was tipped for Harold was Mickey Rooney.
Interesting.
Which would have been
Mickey Rooney. One. Is he the wrestler?
No, that's Mickey Rourke.
Oh, sorry, mate. Miles off there. Then.
Mickey Rooney, I think he's a lot older. He was like the short guy. I think he was in Night of the Museum.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. That's who it
But
is. Yeah,
I
sorry.
don't know how
Yeah.
it would have worked for Harold, but yeah. So
Yeah.
and then the only other sort of thing to note is that they did like a Dutch version around about this time, and they did other versions, and it was called
Cool.
Stijf Been Ein Son.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so it was.
It's a mouthful.
I
Yeah.
know it's Stijf Been very Dutch that,
Yeah. Very good.
but in between, I think Harry H. Corbett he sort of struggled a bit with roles because all he was ever being offered was a derivative of Steptoe.
Yeah.
And he did make a comment saying about Steptoe and Son probably wouldn't return because they've served their time. So it's interesting how it
Oh,
did.
that's true, isn't it? I suppose in those days, 4 series, that was it. Mid 60s, not many shows ran for all that long. So, and
Yeah,
as we said before, he was a straight actor, and it was just a part. He didn't, he kind of wanted aspirations to do other things. So yeah, you can't blame him in a way to wanting to break free a bit.
no, because I think Ray Galton comments as well. He said about they felt quite bad because they basically typecasted his career for that role because he couldn't do anything else really.
I seem to remember Carry On Screaming. He was in that, but he ended up playing a sort of similar character to Harold.
Feel bad,
but even the old man, even Wilf Bramble. I remember he was in. Was it Carry On Nurse or something like that? And they even play the Steptoe music as he's walking down the corridor. It's just sort of like, I suppose they just couldn't escape it, could they? So,
well, even his appearance in the Beatles film, wasn't it? I'm sure he played. I think he was called. They were calling him a dirty old man or something like that, weren't they?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So that's another example of it. Yeah.
But yeah. So we've got Harold. He's now returned home.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to get the old man to sit down to break the news to him.
Yes, the old man's just fussing about, isn't he? It's again another example of these two-hander scenes. But obviously we've got something imminently bad being presented here from Harold. So,
what's the matter with you? You look as if you'd lost 2 bob and found a tanner.
Dad, I want to talk to you. Sit down. Dad.
I haven't time to sit down. I'm getting the dinner.
Don't worry about the dinner, Dad. I couldn't eat. Please, sit down.
I don't want to sit down.
Sit down. Oh. Dad. I have asked you to sit down because I have got something to tell you.
But the old man's going to get the wrong end of the stick in a second because he thinks he's off with a bird.
You're shacking it with a bird.
Yes.
I'm trying to work out. I think my background image is the one from this episode.
Oh, actually, yeah, you could be right, mate. You could be right. Hang on.
Yeah. Is that a bottle of red sauce on the table?
Oh, hang on. Yeah.
Or have I got it wrong?
If it's not, it's very close because he's got the necktie on, hasn't he?
Yeah. You got Harold.
Sorry. For the benefit of listeners, Daz has got a background screen, haven't you, of a still from Steptoe. It is, mate. That's it.
I think it is. Oh God, that is.
Yeah, there we go. Uncanny.
It's a weird coincidence. That.
Right, if you move your head slightly to the right,
my right.
Yeah, I can see the bottle. Yeah, your edge is obscuring the bottle, but there we are.
We pass us that red sauce. That's a Royal Family reference for a friend of the pod.
There's a load of hair on the floor here, Barbara.
It's only Jim's. So Harold, he's now
he's beating about the bush a bit, isn't he? Really, he's not trying to break it, but so he's mentioned death. That's
we missed a bit at the start. We was the old man was talking about like economizing and how the horse pays for his oats in one end and out the other. He sells the manure. It's brilliant.
Yeah, he does say that he make sure you take a bucket out with you or something, doesn't he? So
don't let him do it in the street.
That's it, because we can sell this on. Yeah, which I remember finding out what manure was made from, and just being slightly horrified. It's difficult news to break, I suppose. Isn't it? The old man's been with him a long time, and even though we don't get this sense of Albert doing anything, he clearly sort of, like you say, he saw him come into the world, didn't he? And reared him and brought him up, and he knows about horses, and
That's it. Yeah, well, he knows he's expert on everything, isn't he? He's good at it.
He is.
He's But I like the way Harold's doing it now. He's breaking it really sort of gently to him, and he knows how much, even though he acts as if he hates his dad, he knows the horse means so much to him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There comes a time in every man's life when he has to face the prospect of carrying on without the people and the things that he has gathered around him not being there anymore.
Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, you got a bird. You want to clear off and shack up with you dirty little toe rag.
It's not a laugh out loud episode, this one, but it's an important episode, I think, isn't it? Because it's
very,
like,
yeah.
It's
well,
like,
I thought it was
new era.
We said it was brave to start off, with this episode.
Definitely,
because I think they were plugging it on in the Radio Times, but they just put obviously death in the family, but kept secret who it was. So a lot of people thought it was the old man.
Clever way to do it, yeah. I suppose people might not know he might think he's not come back. So
yeah, Albert now knows the horse has passed away.
It's a difficult thing, isn't it? Because everyone deals with death differently, don't they? And sort of going to go through the stages of disbelief, then anger, and blaming. And yeah. It's
weird. I mean, what do they? I know they say knackers are, but if your horse has died, what do you do with it?
I mean, I suppose a crematorium. I think Albert's going to say in a few minutes. Yeah, I just said it, hasn't he? I had a plot reserved for him down the cemetery.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's different these days. But if the police got involved, maybe they would just send him off to, an abattoir, whatever it was. Yeah.
God, because it's a hell of a thing. I mean, how do you shift a dead horse?
Well, exactly. Yeah. Maybe you sort of have to attach some kind of harness or something and lift it. I don't know.
God.
He said he's going to end up spread across a plate in Belgium. Yeah, it's
cat meat.
Cat meat.
I like the little argument there. They're saying about how they never get the teeth through him, and then Albert goes, "He is fit for consumption," and he sort of realizes what he's saying.
Yeah.
I was going to have a headstone made and little flower pots, an inscription, R.I.P. Instead of which he's going to finish up lying across some plate in a Belgian restaurant.
No, he won't be. Look, they only sends live horses out there. Besides, they reckoned he was unfit for human consumption.
He was fit for human consumption.
He wasn't. He was too old. They'd never get their teeth through him.
Oh, what are they going to do with him?
I don't know.
Oh, yes, you do.
I don't.
You do. Cat's meat. That's what it'd be.
It's a horrible thought, isn't it?
It is a horrible thought, yeah. I mean, we had that horse meat scandal about 10, 15 years ago, didn't we? With Tesco's.
Oh, the cottage pies, yeah, God.
That's right.
The French
yeah, this is it. But it's a very cultural, individual country thing, isn't it? I suppose what all countries think about animals and which ones are prepared to eat and which ones are not. So,
have you noticed the old man's teeth? They're definitely different, aren't they, compared to
the
other series?
Yeah.
Got a different set of choppers.
We did think by series 3 they were sort of looking a bit better, but
apparently they used to soak him in a glass of gin.
All right, okay.
He loved gin. They used to put his teeth in that.
So is it Wolf Bramble's? Has he got false teeth, Wolf Bramble? Then?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I think I can't remember what episode it is, but you actually see his gums, and he's got no upper teeth.
That's right. Because doesn't he find an old pair? And he tries to put them in, and they keep.
That's it. And he goes, "My gums are shrunk." Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fake that, can you? I suppose.
No, he literally hasn't got a tooth on his top. Because the days before NHS dental work and.
Well, yeah, this is it. We sort of take it for granted, don't we? Mind you, you're lucky if you can find an NHS dentist these days.
Yeah, it's going back that way now.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. But there you go.
Bloody Harold Wilson.
But I mean, this is a difficult one because Harold's talking about getting another one, but it is a business decision, isn't it? It's like he says.
Oh yeah,
he's got to go out around,
He's a business asset. I mean, his emotions aside, he's what's he going to do? Drag the cart around himself?
So you can put it towards a new one.
A new one?
Well, we've got to have another horse, haven't we?
Haven't you got no feelings at all? Hercules hardly cold in his tins and you want to go out and buy another?
But we have got to. We can't operate without an horse. Life must go on, Dad.
No.
I mean, I suppose I'm a little surprised in the way Harold didn't think, well, this is a chance to modernise and get a van or something. But,
yeah,
so it's kind of nice he's keeping to the tradition of, a rag and bone men. This is what we do.
You don't even think about that, does he? Don't come into it.
No, I mean, obviously, I'm thinking of like open all hours and stuff. You have Granville in there, sort of really trying to progress and move on. And it's there's traits within that of Harold, but yeah, he sort of misses a trick there, I suppose.
Yeah, well, and we've got the old man who's now putting on his coat and he says off to the church.
Yeah. Yeah, he does rock that sort of is it a bowler hat and black coat look. That's sort of staple, really, isn't it, of the old man's outfit?
That and the necktie.
Necktie, his pajamas underneath. So this is rare, isn't it? Seeing the television.
Yeah, that's right.
So turning the camera on the television for a very obvious reason. We'll see coming up any second. There we go.
Super cat meat.
Yeah, I mean, that's just bad luck, isn't it, really, to switch the telly on at that time?
Yeah.
See that.
So
yeah.
He's moved on next, or are we? Is that it's not a stables or anything, is it? But you see,
it might just be a market where they sort of sell livestock and whatnot. So
they properly stand Harold up now, don't they? They getting him drunk. I think he's on.
Yeah.
Was he drinking a beer or something? But he's like constantly filling his glass, and he.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said this about him being gullible, and he's just he's right for the pick in there really.
Yeah, no, he's he's not helping himself, is he? At all. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go and buy that sort of a new horse,
yeah,
don't know why you'd start drinking when you were doing it, but nice shot of him there again. Lovely sort of. Well, I'd say lovely. It's a backdrop of the yard and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently all of that area now is knocked down, wasn't it? That nothing was preserved from it.
Yeah, I can imagine, mate. Progress marches on, doesn't it? And
have you seen the sign that the old man put on the gate, closed for period of mourning?
That's it. Yeah. He's got a sort of picture and in drapes, and he's wearing his black tie. Yeah,
God, yeah, black tie, black armband, and he just looks, oh God, and even his face is just so hangdog, and
yeah, he's sunk into depression, and it's quite sad to see, really.
That horse has been the only company I've had in these last 20 years. You've never bothered about me, going out every night, leaving me here on my own. It was a great comfort to me knowing that he was out there in the stable. I used to go out there at nights and sit with him, talking to him.
I'm surprised you didn't invite him in here. You could have sat watching the telly together. I can just see him sitting back in the armchair with his legs crossed. Watching Panorama with a pint of beer in his room. You could have let him have my room and bung me out into stables. You might just as well. You always looked after him better than me.
He plays like I said, the old man character so well. I know we said it before, but he's like his face. He's just he's brilliant acting.
It is. No, this is it. And again, this is something that I think future shows, Only Fools, Royal Family, would sort of honor in a way, in their sort of way of dealing with death and having emotional moments. And that sort of juxtaposition of a laugh out loud comic moment and a real human tender moment. It's difficult stuff to write, to try and get that balance right, because you don't want to be disrespectful, but at the end of the day, it's a sitcom, so if you make it dull for 30 minutes, it's particularly, like you say, first episode of a new series, you're going to switch people off, aren't you? So
that's what I mean. It was brave to start off with this one. So I suppose it's not. Is it chronological? Like they could have had episode 2 as this one, I suppose.
There's never real any sort of story arcs, is there, across Steptoe? You get the odd thing mentioned again, but
Yeah, I suppose like we said, there's a 5 year gap, but apparently they would like the late '60s. They would show in repeats, and that was like mainly the
Right.
reason it came back was because the repeats were getting
Yeah.
like 4 to 6 million viewers per episode. So
That's good, isn't
it
it?
was I suppose it was never really off.
No, that's it.
Belly
Kind of
for
kept in the public consciousness, didn't it? Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. Bit like Only Fools now. That's on more than it ever was on before.
yeah, God, yeah.
You turn on UK Gold, it's
It's always on, isn't it? Yeah.
always on. Yeah.
I just think that any differences between in their appearance between series 4 and 5, because like we said, a 5 year gap. I haven't really noticed any major differences with them apart from Albert's teeth.
Um, I mean, yeah, it's more noticeable in the later series, series 7 and 8. But I think it's got a similar hairstyle here. It's probably a little bit fuller, but it's not as full as it gets by series by 1973, 74.
Yeah,
Again, I'm seeing this in black and white,
chops.
so I'm probably not getting the full kind of experience of it. But yeah, there's not a great deal of difference. You're right, actually.
Yeah, for 5 years, it's not like you wouldn't have known really.
No, I mean, you think again back to Only Fools. I think it was noticeable. David Jason had aged that bit more, hadn't he?
They both had, didn't they? Like even
they had. Even Nick Lyndhurst had aged, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Raquel.
10 years. Yeah.
Raquel, definitely. And
God, she went from sort of a youngish woman, bright-eyed, to a nagging old housewife, didn't she?
She did, didn't she? She just really didn't come across well in those last episodes at all.
I mean, it was obviously what they wrote for her, but
it
was not a glow up.
Not at all. No. But
I like the comment Harold just said about they're in a period of mourning, so the business is closed, and you made a joke about if he died, the sign would say period of mourning back in half an hour.
I mean, that's probably true. Yeah. He would be very matter of fact about it. Yeah,
I'm sure the old man cares more about the horse than anyone else.
I mean, that's true. You think about it, we didn't review the coffin episode, but when they had the coffins, he went to stay in there with him, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
He was quite happy having keeping down with him and stuff. So
it's funny you mention the coffin episode because that is in the Dutch version. There's Stijf Benign Son.
Oh, okay.
But apparently, to make it more watchable for Dutch audiences, they got rid of the coffins and changed it for waxwork models.
Interesting.
It didn't say a lot about it in the book. Just said that, and he said about how Wilfred Bramble, he was like a frequent visitor to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
We can imagine why.
Well, yes, definitely, yeah.
But while he was there, he met the actor that plays the old man in the Dutch version.
Right.
I think his name was Rien van Nieuwen.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, he went on a bit of a tour with the Steptoe and son over there. It's weird. It's like with Only Fools. You think, how would it work abroad? How do they get?
This is it, isn't it? Yeah. I think each culture, as I said before, has its own unique things that they find funny and don't find funny and stuff. And yeah, I don't know.
We've just learned now that Harold paid £90 for this new horse.
Right. Okay.
£90? Did I read that?
Yeah, no, £90. Yeah.
That's cheap for a horse, isn't it? I mean, imagine that now.
Well, what's that? Let's have a look. £90. This is 1970, so £100. Nearly £2,000. Well, 1,800. So yeah, I don't know how much you pay for horses, but yeah.
It could be if the breeding line is good. It could be 40, 50,000.
Albert did reckon, didn't he? He said, he was tracing back to the Charles of Light Brigade.
Yeah, God. That's never right, is it?
No. So he's named him Samson. He wants to call him Samson, but that's disgusted. Albert.
I've got the new horse outside. I bought him down at Southall Market. Do you want to come and see him?
No.
But he's a lovely horse, Dad. I'd like to have your opinion on him.
I'm not interested.
Oh, you're only saying, Dad. Once you get used to the idea, you love him.
No, I won't.
Yes, I will. A keen judge of horse flesh like you. Oh, I really would like you to cast your expert eye over him. I think I got a bargain. It was only £90.
Can't be much for that.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I'd like you to have a look at him and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
I mean, What you don't know about horses ain't worth knowing.
Oh, that's true.
Now, come on. Come and have a look at him.
No, I don't want anything to do with him. You bought him, you look after him.
All right. What do you think I ought to call him?
Call him what you like, so long as he ain't Hercules.
Oh, no, I wouldn't call him Hercules. I mean, there's only one. I mean, there was only one Hercules, wasn't there? I was thinking of calling him Samson.
Samson, yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a strong horse. They pull a lot of weight. He's 14 hands.
Not as big as Hercules.
Oh, no, not as big as him. But he's young. He's got a lot of life in him.
Good. He'll be company for you.
Come and have a look at him.
No.
All right, so you don't like him. I'm not asking you to like him. Just come and have a look at him. Professionally. Look, now forget he's an horse. He's an asset. Come and have a look at your new asset. Whether you like him or not, we've got to have him for the business.
I don't care about the business. I've lost interest. I've got a feeling I won't be here much longer.
Oh, God, here we go again.
I shall go and join Hercules. I'll be better off up there. There's nothing left for me down here. Not now.
Harold's just completely over the horse now, and he's just like on to the next thing.
Yeah. This is it. It's as I said, he knows the value of keeping the business going, and
yeah, he's trying to get the old man now to have a look at him, assess him as an asset.
But he's just having none of it, is he? He's not interested.
No, he's sticking to his guns.
I mean, I suppose if it's only a matter of days after he's, or even next day, I suppose that is quick turnaround. But yeah, as we said, what else is Harold to do? You can't really. You can't drag it around there, can he? So.
Yeah,
but it's funny how this episode was sort of, they did Walla Walla Cats Meet in series 2, and it's similar principle, isn't it? That all right, he doesn't die, but he's incapacitated in that episode.
Yeah,
and everyone rallies around them. But sort of similar thing doesn't happen here. I guess obviously story purposes, they couldn't do the same thing again, could they? So
no, that's a point. Yeah, all the rag and bone men helped them out, didn't they? But
they did, yeah. Yeah, probably these 2 episodes. The opening of series 2, opening of series 5, I've probably watched the least. Probably just because of their slightly somber feel to them. But no, it's been interesting to back and watch this. So yeah, the old man's resigned. He said, you basically take him on. You're both young, you're both healthy. Which is we're sort of going down the track of a bit of feeling sorry for himself, isn't he? And the old violins coming out in it, and
the emotional manipulation.
That's it, which we'll see a lot of. We've seen a lot of already, and we'll see more of.
It's like he brings up the mother. He brings Harold's mum a lot, doesn't he? Have you noticed?
Oh yeah.
It's a bit again. Mum said to me on her deathbody, Rodney.
Absolutely, like that, mate. It's another one of the example of it, isn't it? Yeah, that's sort of twisting the knife emotionally to someone who's still there, from someone who's passed away.
Someone who's lost their mum. What was he, 5 when the mum passed away? Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
So Harold's now he's looking at the sort of shrine that the old man has built.
Yeah, I mean that does get a laugh, doesn't it? What do you have to die for? I was going out tonight.
Yeah, that's savage, isn't it?
It is savage. Yeah.
Like the scenes when it's cut now to Albert laying in bed and he just looks like he's at death's door. I always like the bedroom scenes where they show.
Yeah, we don't see it very often, do we?
So old fashioned is the wall and the pictures and the headboard.
That's right, because we have it in the upstairs downstairs famous bad back episode in series 8, I think it is, isn't it?
Oh, come on. Put your teeth in and have a bite. Get up. Look, you can't stay in bed forever. You'll lose the use of your legs. Please get up.
Go away.
No, look, Dad, I've got to go to work.
I'm not stopping you.
But I can't leave you like this. Look, I'll tell you what. When I come home tonight, look, we get dressed up. We'll go and eat out, and I'll take you to the pictures.
Go away.
Yeah. We'll go and see I Am Curious, Yellow. It's a good film. It's Swedish. Did I see a little sparkle then, eh? Oh, you'll like that, won't you, eh? I mean, they don't cut away to the faces or the seas rushing in or nothing.
Leave me alone.
Blimey, it must be ill. Now, look, Dad, you have got to try. You just can't give up. For my sake, Dad. So, here's the newspapers. Cool. Here, look at the size of her. Vicar's wife in hot pants controversy. Bishop investigates. Turn to page 6 for full details and pictures. Here, go on, that'll get you going, go on.
Go away.
All right, then. I'll tell you what, you have a look in the entertainments column, and if there's anything you fancy, I'll take you to see it. I'll try and get home early, all right? Oh, no, look, I have got to go to work now, Dan. Do you want me to do your pillows?
No, thanks.
Is your po empty? All right, then. Cheerio. See you tonight, then, eh?
Oh, here we go. We see the old man. He's got no teeth in.
Oh, there you go. Oh. Yeah, it's great stuff.
Because, Harold just said to it, he's holding a sausage. He said, put your teeth in and have a bite. So I wonder how long that's been then since he hasn't eaten.
Well, again, it's one of these things we don't know with him, do we? How much he's playing up to Harold when he's there. But this does look a bit more serious, doesn't he? He looks far more convincingly ill than he did when he did his back in and was.
Yeah, he's not. Harold's just made a film reference here. He said, "Oh, let's go and watch I Am Curious Yellow." I don't know if you said anything like the. Do you remember Fellini's 8.5?
Fellini's 8.5 and Nudes of 1964.
So I'm just googling this. I Am Curious Yellow. Yeah, it's an actual 1967 documentary drama, 2 hours 12 minutes. Good God! It's a Swedish erotic drama film written by and directed by Vilgot Schumann.
Oh, there you go then.
It's central, analytical, and thought-provoking. Do you want to see that with your dad, Si? I think we said this before.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. Don't know. I suppose it's the ultimate test, isn't it? If he's turning down the chance for a chance to go to the cinema or whatever, then something's wrong. But
must be ill.
So we're outside the yard and we're about to get another shock. So yeah, things are progressing, but all is not as it seems either. So,
Dad, come quickly, Dad! You fucking up, Dad! It's Samson. He's ill. He's just lying there. Dad, you gotta help him.
Call the vet.
He'll be hours. Anyway, you know more than he does. Oh, please, Dad, come down and have a look at him. He's dying, Dad. I know it. Please, Dad, don't let him die.
Is he sweating?
Yeah. He's pouring off of him.
What about his eyes?
They're rolling all over his head.
Have you taken his temperature?
Yes.
What was he?
I don't know, he bit it in half. Please. Oh, don't lie there, Dad. Please, Dad. Look, you've just got to do something.
Get me bag.
Yes, Dad.
And blankets, lots of blankets.
Yes, Dad.
Not mine, you great pillock! Come on, let's go and have a look at it. Where's me dressing gown?
So this is like real desperation, isn't it? He's sort of really not sure what to do here.
Yeah, he hasn't got a clue with horses, really, is he? But he knows the old man is as good as a vet.
Yeah.
So what's his symptoms? His eyes rolling all around his head.
He's on the floor, isn't he?
He's on the floor.
I say he. We're about to find out.
Yeah. They.
They. That's right.
Oh God, Harold's just stripped him of the bedclothes, and what is man wearing? He's got gloves on as well, hasn't he?
I guess he sat bolt upright. Yeah.
I like the way he puts his hat on before he puts anything else on.
I do love his run. Have you seen that before? He has that sort of like childlike sort of almost like a monkey type sort of scamper across places.
With his nightgown.
But yeah, he's going to send Harold away in a minute, isn't he? And yeah, go make yourself busy, leave it to me, sort of thing.
Yeah, just get out of the way.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So yeah, cut to a little bit later on. Again, I'm not seeing in this colour. There must be a good pile of junk there, isn't there? So,
yeah, that yard is absolutely rammed.
It never looks any tidier.
I'm trying to work out where the toilet is because that toilet it moves, doesn't it? Quite a lot.
It seems to be a little bit.
And this whole fixed to the house, isn't it? But the rest of the time, it's all over.
So there we go. We see a shot, and we've got a little foal. I was going to say calf. That's the wrong one, isn't it?
I hope it's not a cow. Yeah. So the horse that he bought was a male. Is actually a girl.
There you go. And there's going to be a very funny line coming up about. Didn't you look at it when you bought it? There we are.
Didn't you notice there was something missing?
Yeah.
Dad, is he all right? You great useless article. What are you?
Daddy isn't.
Come in here.
No, I don't want to look. I don't want to look at.
Have a look at that.
There's two of them.
Of course there's two of them. He's had a foal. You great pillock. I think I'll call him Samson. Didn't you look at it when you bought it?
Yeah. I looked at its teeth and its legs and its hoofs.
And when you was down there, didn't you notice nothing missing?
Nothing. Well, if you're not looking for that sort of thing, you don't know this, do you?
What about the size of her?
Well, I just thought she was well fed, that's all. I mean, the man didn't say anything.
He must be as daft as you are. You got your money's worth, two for the price of one. Not a bad little foal, that. He looks just like Hercules did when he was born.
So you can see why they wanted to ply him with drink and get shot because. Had you ever thought he said that? You know, surely.
He's done all right there, though, hasn't he?
They can sell this other horse on, can't they? Because I don't think it's ever really explained what happens to the.
No, that's what. Yeah, that's what I always forget this episode because they don't. I don't think they ever refer to that foal again.
No, but obviously, I guess they did sell it on and you know made the money back, so to speak. So yeah. And all's well now, isn't it? You know, the old man's back on side of it, and he's been a bit more cheerful.
And now he's remembering the film that Harold offered, so he's off to see I Am Curious by the looks.
So yeah, it's a rare episode where it ends on a positive. I suppose it had to after it was such a somber kind of start and middle. To actually end on a positive is different, but good.
Yeah, well, I think it's like you said, rare episode where they're up on the deal, aren't they? Really?
Yeah, that's it.
Even I know that the horse has passed away, Hercules, but I think apart from that, they're better off than they started, which is unusual.
So there we go. We're kicking off a new era of Steptoe and a new horse.
So yeah, I wonder what the reaction was to that in 1970.
Yeah, I suppose people were glad it was back. Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, because it was like I said, it was never really. I suppose repeats in those days were different, weren't they? But it was never really off the telly.
No.
But yeah, so I think we said before, didn't we, that the actors especially didn't think about repeat fees. They just thought it was going to be shown once.
Yeah, no, well, this is it. I think a lot of their contracts were to be basically that was it. One, showing of it, a couple maybe a repeat of it, and then that was it. Because I think there was a fear that if there's repeats, then they would lose work. They wouldn't end up being rehired for other stuff. So, yeah, different times. Yeah, these days, things are hardly ever even televised. You get a lot of stuff streaming first, don't you? You can watch the whole box set of something. Consume television in such a different way now, don't we?
Yeah, it's completely different, isn't it? I mean, Yeah, it's sort of it's like night and day.
True.
What do you think that episode? What would you rate that, Si?
So I said to you, Daz, it's not an episode I remember well. It's an important episode, and there's some really good sort of poignant scenes and good acting in there. So yeah, solid 7 out of 10 for me. It's not going to rank in my top 10, but it's still important, and it's a colour episode of Steptoe, even though I watched it in black and white. But launched it again after 5 years away.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to me. I'd say about 7 out of 10. Because like I said, it's memorable. Probably because he's a bit sad, the horse dying. But when you speak to other people, like they always remember that one, or when the horse died.
True.
People have said that to me, and it gives Wilfred Bramble a chance to showcase how he does the really sad sort of demeanor, and then he's back up to he's manipulating himself.
That's true. That's true, mate.
Yeah, good solid episode, I think.
Excellent.
So next up, we've got. I think it was your pick on it, Si, an episode.
So TB or not TB? Yes, which I remember watching this one. I think it's one of the ones I go to. I'll go to this and the colour problem in series 5. But I do have a soft spot for Any Old Iron as well. But we'll sort of go through those again at the end, won't we? I suppose. So
this one was aired Friday, April the 10th, 1970. So right. Albert has been coughing a lot, and Harold accompanies him to the hospital where they both submit to having X-rays taken. Whilst Albert gets the all clear, there's an unusual growth on Harold's X-ray, and tuberculosis is suspected. However, it turns out to be a necklace that Harold was wearing and showed up on the X-ray, and he is cleared. Yeah,
that's it, really, isn't it? And it has a similar feel to the Only Fools Christmas episode with the
with Reg.
Reg Trotter of misunderstandings and hospital results. But shall we?
Yeah, hit play.
Hit play. Great stuff, mate.
For God's sake! Will you take that fag out of your mouth? I can see the house vibrating from the top of the road.
A man's got to have some pleasures in life. Did you bring any fags in? I've had to roll my own dogs up since this morning.
Honestly, the state your lungs must be in. They must look like a couple of empty coal sacks.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I've watched TV or Not to Be a good few times because I do like this one. It's sort of more out of the home. They're not just.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. And I mean, it's it's a mobile walk-in X-ray centre, which I don't know how new they were. I mean, they're quite commonplace now, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I suppose it's the idea of trying to get people, who are perhaps worried about going to hospital to just do it in a smaller setting. You
can imagine how many men had served in the Second World War that were now very old. Had got on a bit, so they're bound to have health issues. So trying to get them to have X-rays, I suppose, was a nightmare because you see with the old man's attitude towards it, he's just like, no, they're not shooting electricity through me. No, not having it.
Yeah.
It's like, but I love the start of this. Is he rolling his own cigarette?
Looks like he's rolling his own. He's coughing himself to death, isn't he? It's one of those recurring things. Some episodes we don't see him smoke at all, and some other episodes we see him, really wheezing away. It's it's a good one to go back to every now and then.
He's coughing his lungs out there, isn't he?
Yeah, I've been rolling my old dog ends. And that's something else that crops up in the Desperate Hours, isn't it? The dog ends, the dog ends from last week, or whatever, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, struggling.
How long have you been smoking now?
Well, let's see. I started after I left school, so that would have been 8.5.
60 glorious years. Have you any idea how much smoking that represents?
I don't know.
Well, let's work it out. A fag is about 3 inches long. A packet of 20, that's 5 foot. How many do you smoke a day?
40.
40? That's 10 foot a day you're getting through. That is the equivalent of one fag twice as long as you. Do you realise you're smoking 3,650 feet of fag per year? That's horrifying. That's nearly 3/4 of a mile.
Who cares?
3/4 of a mile each year for 60 years. What? That's incredible. Since you was an 8.5, you have smoked the equivalent of a fag 45 miles long.
I mean, I've never been a smoker at all, but you, Daz. But yeah, I don't know if I'd ever roll my own. But...
No, God, no. I like a cigar once a year at Christmas.
Nice. Yeah, good
I'm
stuff.
trying to cut down. Yeah, but no, it is rare to see him smoking a rollie, but yeah, I love the line where he's just coughing his lungs up and he goes, "You got to have some pleasures in life." It's like sets me up for the day, fag, and it's just it's killing him.
Well, this reminds you a bit of Madge, Madge in Benidorm, and this episode where she's coughing away, and they think she's having a fit, and then they say, "Get me a cigarette," and then she smokes it, and she starts breathing again.
Yeah,
that's true, isn't it? People who smoked all their life, just they're not going to stop, are they?
No, I know people who smoked for sort of 40 years, and when they stopped, they started coughing.
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it? It's like a change to your system, but yeah.
I find it interesting. We don't really see smoking that much on telly anymore. It does crop up, but if you're an actor and you don't smoke and you have to smoke, it must be tricky.
Yeah, I wondered that. I tell you what, it made me think that the other week we watched Griselda.
All right.
I can't think of the actress's name, but she's a well-known actress anyway. And all through it, she's smoking flat out. I remember thinking, they're obviously not CGI in it. You can't really fake it that well. I remember thinking she must have smoked hundreds of packets of fags making that.
Yeah.
How do they do it? I mean, how do they not get hooked?
Well, I think you can get these sort of like herbal cigarettes, can't you? That are sort of more or less tobacco, menthol. I do remember reading. I mean, I love the X-Files, the cigarette smoking man, X-Files.
Yeah,
he didn't smoke at all, but he had to for the show, so he just used to smoke menthol ones.
And the smell of it, it's God.
Yeah, that's it. I was out with some pals at the weekend, and a few of them were smoking. And it's it's suddenly in your face. It's gosh,
Yeah, it's weird because I remember the days of like being in a pub when people smoked, and then when they banned it, I mean it was amazing because the walls weren't yellow, your clothes didn't stink of fags. It was amazing when they stopped it. But the only thing is, then everyone would go outside and do it in the rain.
They would, and if you notice this, I always notice this. You could suddenly smell the toilets more.
And the manky carpets.
The manky carpet,
that's true. Yeah. Okay. So there was
a great line we just missed there.
Go on.
There was a great line. He said that you've smoked a cigarette the equivalent of 45 miles long in your life. It's quite funny. Yeah. God
knows what his lungs must look like.
Well, yeah, this is it, isn't it? There's enough advertising now, isn't there? But very much back then, there was perhaps very little warnings. In fact, I remember doing this, reading something about how some cigarette companies would use doctors to endorse them. They'd say, "Oh, these doctors smoke Camel cigarettes because it's good quality," and you just can't imagine it now, can you?
Oh, it's crazy. I've heard that as well. Yeah, you've got like at the moment the old man. He's basically saying about. You've got Harold saying about preventative medicine.
Yeah.
And the old man arguing that more people use the hospital is better because I think he said something about the nurses getting more jobs.
Yeah, he's got a sort of logic to it, hasn't he? He's saying, basically you if you look for it, you kind of create more problems, sort of thing.
Yeah, he doesn't want X-ray because he's trying to find problems. It's like
if people are real, what's the point of depressing them? Which, I don't know. That's a difficult one to defend, but there is some sort of logic there to a degree. But not the right logic.
I think the founder of the NHS and Aaron Bevan, I think he came across massive opposition from doctors at the time,
right,
when he wanted to bring in the nationalised health service because a lot of doctors would, a bit like the way it's gone with dentists now, they were making more money doing private work.
Right, yeah.
So they felt they would have lost out massively, and a bit like Harold's, the old man sort of attitude. They just didn't want it and didn't think the nation would benefit from it. And of course, the old-fashioned attitude is they never go to the doctors.
No, this is it. It's a sign of apple a day keeps the doctor away and all those sorts of sayings. Isn't it? It's
40 fags a day.
Yeah,
Woodbine. But I like this bit now. So Harold
it's good, isn't it?
Persuaded Albert to get to the mobile clinic.
You said literally just kicked him into the inside. Great little bit of physical comedy. But we got a bit of leering going on here, haven't we?
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. We have come for the mass X-rays.
Mass X-rays? You said it was just one on the chest. I'm not having them all over. I'm all...
Come back here, you!
They're not strapping me down and shooting all that electricity through me. It's not natural. I'd turn into a monster.
What do you mean, turn? I must apologise for my father. Only he has been watching too many of them late-night Frankenstein pictures. Look, nobody's going to strap you down. Mass, in this case, means everybody. You're going to have one little X-ray. Now behave yourself. I do beg your pardon.
Oh, that's all right. There's nothing to worry about, sir. I can assure you it does you no harm at all. Now, we'll just fill these cards in. Name?
Steptoe. Albert Edward Ladysmith Steptoe.
Age?
63.
You liar, he's 69.
Why don't you mind your business?
How can you be sensitive about your age at your time of life?
69.
Big mouth.
Address?
The Mews Cottage, Aldram Lane, Shepherd's Bush.
Are you suffering from any illness?
No, never had a day's illness in my life. I'm as fit as a fiddle. What are you doing tonight?
Dad, please.
You don't care to be like the old man. He'll try it on with any woman.
Oh, gosh.
70, 60.
Yeah. But as we know, he can be a bit of a charmer. When he wants to be, he's capable of...
I'll have her eating out my hand. So the is she receptionist or nurse? I think.
It's a bit of both, isn't she? Just sort of registering.
Very young. And, you've got the old man trying it on straight away.
Yeah. What
you go. Then she goes to Harold. I'm sure he didn't mean anything, and Harold goes, "Oh, he does. Trust me."
You worry, yeah. Answer the questions. Yeah, he does talk to him like a child, doesn't he? It's
it is.
It's good.
Do we miss that bit then where he says, she goes, "Welcome to the mass X-ray," and Albert goes, "Mass?" He goes, "I only want it on my chest."
Yeah, I'm off.
I'm going.
Oh, there's a great bit coming up here, isn't it? When she asks Harold if he's been X-rayed before, and the old man's can embarrass him.
Have you ever received any medical treatment?
No. Yeah. I had some white powder squirted down me trousers when I come out of the trenches.
Well, I don't think we'll count that. Right, give this card to the nurse.
I'll wait for him.
Oh, go.
Name?
Steptoe. Harold Albert, the Kitchener.
Age?
34.
He's 41.
I'm 39.
Well, which is it? 34, 39 or 41?
39.
Nearly 40.
You need an X-ray on your nose if you don't keep it off of my phone. Now, go on, come get undressed. Clear off.
Address?
Same as him, unfortunately.
Are you suffering from any illness?
Not to my knowledge. I do keep myself in pretty good physical condition.
Any cough?
Well, there is a slight irritation of the bronchial tracheae first thing in the morning, but it's nothing to worry about.
Any sputum?
Pardon?
Gold watches.
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Yeah, trying to impress her.
He's trying to use the terminology. Slight irritation of the bronchial.
Oh, yeah.
She goes, "Have you got any sputum?" And he just looks confused.
Yeah, it's the idea of someone's trying to speak French or whatever, and then they get caught out because they can only speak one sentence or whatever.
Yeah.
Here we go. Have you been X-rayed before? No. Yes, you have. 2 years ago, and the horse kicked you in the cobblers. That's not something you want to be telling someone, is it?
And then the next line, then he goes, "Don't worry, love. He can still enjoy himself."
That's just brilliant. That is brilliant, isn't it? Oh,
he's like humiliating him, but then he's still trying to get him in there with that
Gentiles.
Yeah, I wonder if that was genuinely read it wrong and in the script.
Wow.
Surely that's genitals.
Oh yeah, I mean, we know the old man will get things wrong. We have Peloponnese coming up, don't we, in a few series time?
God, yeah.
Have you been X-rayed before?
No.
Yes, you have. 2 years ago when the horse kicked you in the cobblers. It's nothing to be ashamed of. You got over it, didn't you? He can still enjoy himself, miss.
Dad, please.
What'd you have to go and tell her I was 69 for? I was doing all right there. Tasty piece, isn't she? She's got TV.
What did you say? Two beauties.
Two beauties. Yeah. I meant to ask you that. Did you have your TB jab at school?
Yeah, I remember that. It was wasn't it like a wrist puncture as well?
It was like 6 rings, wasn't it? And then if they came up, you were already immune. If you didn't, you had to have the big injection. That's what it was when I was. So.
Did you have a load of tablets as well with it?
No, it was just that it, mate. Yeah,
you had to take tablets. I remember for about a week. It pee turned bright orange.
Oh, okay. No, I don't remember doing that at all. Really... No. There's another great line coming up here. So, hey, what's the game? She's taking his britches off.
Yeah, I love the difference. You've got the young girl on reception, and you've got a sort of old trench ball style matron now. So there's a big difference.
That's it. That line there. That's it, Mrs. Chop his head off.
Yeah. I wonder if that was improvised. That
I don't know. He's off camera, isn't it? So it seems like because you don't see Harold. He's off. He's not on screen when you see it.
He's having to stretch up as well to put his head on the scan thing, and he's.
Yeah, they spared no expense in getting all the equipment. I guess they probably either went on location or got it brought in. But it looks like all the pucker gear, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yes. Again, the props department.
Yeah,
we say it every episode, don't we?
No, the designer and the people that are working on this, fantastic.
Do they? I don't know if they do it like that now. Do they because he's kept his shirt?
I don't know. Yeah, I've not been for a scan for anything like this. I couldn't tell you, but that's it. Similar premise, I guess. But
they're done now. The sort of older matron figure. She's like, "Yep, all done. Go." And Harold's like, sorry, the old man's like, "Oh, don't we even get a cup of tea?" And then he flips then to being really paranoid and worried.
Yeah. I think he's been sort of dismissing it the whole time, hasn't he? But
yeah. What does he say as well? He goes, "I've never had a day's illness in my life." And she said, "Have you ever had any medical treatment?" And he said, "I had some white powder squirted down my pants when I left the trenches or something."
That's right. Yeah.
Well, we won't count that. She goes.
So yeah, the results are in. So it seems.
Yeah, been delivered.
The West London Chest Clinic. So yeah.
I wonder if is that an actual hospital? Is it still there? I've been to the Chelsea and Westminster hospital. I had to go there under the bloody lockdown. I had to drive there, but I don't really know because there's quite a few hospitals in that area. What's that? West London.
I've just searched it up. There's a London Chest Clinic and there's a West London NHS Trust. There might be an historic thing. Don't know. Or might have been something they made up. But yeah.
What's Harold doing there? He's got like some sort of.
I was wondering that. It's like he's either trying to repair something or fix something. So it's not actually said that there's a problem at first here. It just says there's a technical fault.
Yeah.
And this is where kind of a bit of paranoia kicks in, a bit of assuming things comes in, doesn't it? That means there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Actually, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means they couldn't get the X-ray done. So.
Yeah, so straight away, Albert now he thinks he's dying, not long for this world.
Yeah,
you can feel the life draining out of me. He says, and he's got Harold comforting him, saying, "Don't panic."
Yeah, it's one of those classic things, isn't it, in a sitcom where someone gets the wrong end of the stick, but starts to play up to it, a bit of hypochondria or what have you. So.
Oh my God.
What?
Dear sir, your recent chest x-ray was unsatisfactory due to a technical fault. An appointment has been made for you at the West London Hospital for a further x-ray. I've got it. I'm dangerously ill. It's your fault, you and your x-rays. It was all right, I understand.
Now, that'd be ridiculous. I mean, x-rays cannot give you TB. Anyway, it don't say you got it. It just says unsatisfactory due to a technical fault.
They always say that, so as not to frighten you. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. I can feel it. I can feel the life draining out of me. Where's my chair?
Now, look, Dad. Look, you mustn't panic. You've got to be rational. Now, let us assume the worst. You've got TB. There's nothing to worry about. Well, it's not like it used to be. It's not like it was in your days. Oh, medical science has made tremendous progress since then. See, they've got drugs and modern methods of treatment. Oh, you'll be cured in no time at all. A couple of months in a sanatorium, rested, and you'll be as right as rain.
I won't.
So yeah, he's reassuring, though, isn't he? It's quite nice to see another sort of a little bit of tenderness between them.
Yeah, he's trying to comfort him.
It's a couple of months in a sanitarium. I mean, that was what they used to do, wasn't it? TB used to put. In fact, I seem to remember that's where Galton and Simpson met.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, that's how they met, wasn't it? When they both suffered from tuberculosis.
So I suppose right in this episode was quite emotional for them because it was something that they'd gone through. So
definitely, but that would have been 50s.
Yes, 50s, yeah. So a few years later, they wrote about it. But
I bet that was a hell of a thing to go through.
I mean, the idea of being isolated away from your family, and I think it shows how much we've moved on, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like you see with those iron lungs, like you see.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, how do they cope with that? So they realise now. So Harold's had a look at the letter, and they realise that they've got the names mixed up. So Albert is fine; he's all clear, but Harold is a technical fault.
I'm as fit as a fiddle. So yeah, he's celebrating. Where like that? Well, I'm fit as a fiddle. Where's my fags?
A drag and a calf.
So now, tables are turned, and the old man's doing the reassuring, isn't he? And
they've completely flipped, haven't they?
They have completely flipped, haven't they? And it's sort of a little bit unlike Harold because he's usually the sort of sensible-ish one, isn't he?
But if you think of like anything medical, he is a bit like namby-pamby, and he's quite paranoid. True. He's because when he's sort of ill in other episodes, he really milks it.
Yeah, he does. That's true.
Like he won't go out on the round if he's got a slight headache or something.
Can't get my breath, Dad. Oh dear. Come to think of it, I haven't been feeling very well lately.
Yeah, just this rotten, stinking, damp house.
But at least that's too much of the other. The old man.
Again, he's talking about his childhood, about he spent most of the time outside the pub in the rain.
Oh my God. Steptoe.
I'm all right. There's nothing wrong with me. I told you, fit as a fiddle. Where's me fags? What's the matter with you?
TB. I've got TB.
Oh, don't say you've got it. It just says in the x-ray was unsatisfactory due to a technical fault.
They always say that. They never tell you the truth. I'm ill. I've had it.
You haven't had it, young lad like you.
I've got a cough. Dad, I've got a cough.
You call that a cough? That's a cough.
Oh, shut up. Gee, listen. Cavities. Oh, my lungs must be like lace curtains. Dad, I can't breathe properly. I'm out of breath. Now, come to think of it, I haven't been feeling well lately. I have been so tired all the time.
That's too much of the other. There's nothing to worry about. You said yourself it's not like it used to be. A couple of months in a sanatorium, that's what you said.
Yeah, but they may not have caught it in time. I've probably had it for years.
Yeah.
It's all your fault. You never looked after me when I was a kid. I never had any decent food. This rotten damp house. What chance did I have? It's lowered my resistance. It's all your fault.
You had the best food money could buy.
You never had any money. You spent it all in the pub. With me standing out in the rain all evening with a bottle of lemonade and an arrowroot biscuit. That's why I've got it.
You haven't got it.
Yes,
What is an arrow biscuit? Or an arrow biscuit? Have you ever heard that? They mentioned that a couple of times.
Yeah, I have.
I think it's in Only Fools as well.
Let's have a look. Arrowroot.
Harold's now diagnosed with the lack of energy. And
you can still get them.
can you?
According to this, yeah. Thin arrowroot.
Because I'm sure.
I've heard of them before. Well, I had heard of them, but I you can still get them in the shops. But
okay. Was it like a custard cream, or is it?
it's a starch, a type of biscuit, apparently. Sorry, a type of starch extracted from several tropical plants. Oh, it was used to treat soldiers, apparently, years ago. So,
Oh god.
so I think they're medicinal, basically, but I think they've kind of just come. But like Lucozade, that was originally.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna. If you're ill,
wasn't it? In ill, and now it's kind of come into just energy drinks. So yeah.
God, yeah. But I like. So I like what Harold's wearing now. He's come downstairs. What has he got on?
It looks like he's got a smoking jacket a la Richie, isn't it?
Yeah, Richie.
Bottom. It's a dressing. It's a dressing gown turned inside out.
It's a smoking jacket.
Ta-da! What do you think, Eddie?
I think you've got your raincoat on inside out. Are you off? I thought we were playing chess.
No, it's a smoking jacket. Look, the quilting. All the sophisticated people are wearing them.
Well, why have you got one on then?
But so he sat down for his breakfast and got the old man. He's just put tape across the plates and he's marked everything. He won't let.
And
he's got a mask on, isn't he?
Wearing a surgical mask, yeah. Years ahead of COVID.
And Harold starts ringing a bell, going unclean.
Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah, he says I mustn't time myself out.
Harold carrying a little pocket mirror.
Yeah, he's really properly playing up to it, isn't he?
What's that handkerchief? It's massive.
Perhaps it's some stuff off the round. He's sort of had a look through and thought, yeah, this makes me look a bit more dramatic. So, so he thinks he's going to have the house fumigated. Yeah.
Get them sulphur candles burning.
Well, I don't know. Is TB catching? I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But
how would you get it then? I'm not quite sure.
I suppose, yeah. It's a good look. Yeah.
Loss of appetite, you're saying that's another symptom?
Oh, no, it is coughing and sneezing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So it's similar to a cold or flu. So
coughs and sneezes.
Yeah, there we are. So he's finally asked him how he's feeling. He says, I wondered when you would ask.
Yeah. Broke out into a cold sweat last night. That's another symptom. He's just so paranoid now, isn't he?
Yeah.
God blimey. Why don't you plant a yellow cross on the front door and have done with it? I'll carry this handbell round with me if you like. I'm clean. Give away. I'm clean.
No, sit down. Don't get excited. You mustn't overdo it.
You're right. I mustn't tire myself out. Oh dear. Are my cheeks flushed?
They look all right to me. Aren't you going to go and get dressed? Aren't you going to go to work?
How can I go to work? I'm a very sick man. What about your precious horse catching it?
Oh, she can wear a mask. Fresh air'll do you good.
You just want to get me out of the house, don't you, mate? So you can have it fumigated. In that case, I've got to go to the hospital this morning for my X-ray.
You going to eat your breakfast?
No. I just don't seem to have any appetite lately. That's another symptom.
Good. I'll have it then.
I've touched that breakfast.
Oh, good. Forgot about that.
Go on, eat it. It'll be all right. Dip the sausages in carbolic. And it's a shame to waste them.
No, thanks. I'm not hungry. How are you feeling this morning, anyway?
I wondered when you'd ask. It's comforting to know you're concerned. I'm not well. I'm not well at all. I broke out into a cold sweat during the night. That's another symptom. I saw the sunrise this morning. Oh, it was beautiful. I could smell the rain as well as it dried on the wet pavements.
Is that a symptom?
Everything seems so clear. They say your senses is heightened when you haven't got long to go. You see things in a new light. I don't suppose I shall see another spring. I shall miss England in the spring. It was my favourite time. I weighed myself this morning. I've lost another 4 pounds since yesterday.
You haven't got your gumboots on, have you? Pull yourself together. You're carrying on like some puffy Victorian poet.
Would you put this envelope in a safe place for me, will you?
I just love how the old man's having his breakfast throughout all this. He's just carrying on.
So I always wonder with like food on well, any shows really, like, because it must be cold.
Yeah.
It must be horrible to eat that.
I seem to remember. I know you've not really watched Friday Night Dinner, but they were interviewing them because that is all about them eating dinner, and they were saying that they really have to sort of just pace themselves when they're doing it.
Like the royal family, I suppose, isn't it? Like with the roast dinner.
Yeah, I think a lot of the work is doing things with your fork to make it look like you're doing more than you're actually doing, I suppose.
You've got the continuity, like if you've eaten half your meal and then they cut back to it, it won't make sense. I suppose you got to.
I know David Jason's talked about it in his books, hasn't he? He's talked about like when he was filming Darling Buds of May and stuff like that. They
was always eating, wasn't he?
That's it. They would always be cooking stuff. And so he used to put on loads of pounds of weight when he was filming those because they'd obviously have to reset stuff and do it again. And
Hot Larkin, he literally slammed the food into him when he like full Englishes, roast dinners, pies,
everything was tomato sauce, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Tomato sauce all over it. Yeah.
Oh God.
But that was a good series, very good series.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I think last time I saw it was on videotape. It was
right,
the 90s. It was
I
was a bit with Catherine Zeta-Jones. And...
Oh well, this is it. Yeah, yeah. Now he's sort of really painting this picture. That's it. He's on his way out, isn't he? This is it. Even the old man looks very somber.
Yeah, he's drawn the old man in, and he's put on such a good performance.
Better take my pajamas with me.
So Harold is now off to the hospital.
Yeah, because he thinks he's going straight to the sanitarium. He's going to be. I mean, it's again that we not even know that anything's wrong, but it's that sort of, the mind fills in the blanks, doesn't it? Sometimes.
He's now stood next to the skeleton. I love that bit. Is that the same skeleton? Because it's like the skull bit is off. I'm wondering if. Yeah,
it does look different, doesn't it? That one.
If they had a couple.
Maybe I suppose it's again that after a few series away, it's they've just redressed it with something different. But
and there's a sort of rare bit. He's just hugged the old man.
Yeah, you don't see that all that often, do you? At all.
Not even at the funeral one.
No. Think they send a bleeding ambulance for me.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with him.
This is it, isn't it? Again, it's just all this conjecture. Yeah. So the old man's up to something now. Oh, he's spraying, he's disinfecting everything, isn't he?
Yes. Which is strange for him, and he don't normally care about hygiene or anything. But
no.
I suppose if it's going to affect him in any way, he's all of a sudden he's interested.
So I was going to say, we've got to. It was like he's reading his will, doesn't he?
Oh, look at the time. He's been gone long enough. Wonder if he's dead. Oh, might as well read his will.
Dear Dad, by the time you read this, I shall be dead. Unless you can't wait and you've opened it already. I'm not too distraught at my demise. You can rest happy in the knowledge that we will meet again when you two are called by that great rag and bowman in the sky. Because I don't suppose we'll be all that long.
Yeah.
I would like to be buried with my mum. And I hope that you will take more care of it when there is two of us in there than you ever did when she was in there on her Todd. I hereby bequeath
This is the bit.
All my worldly goods to you. This is to include my post office book and my half of Steptoe and Son, hereinafter referred to as the business. I further bequeath
Yeah?
an annual sum not exceeding 15% of my total estate to be donated to Harold Wilson in his capacity as leader of the Labour Party of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and all his dominions beyond the seas.
Yeah.
I further bequeath to you personally
A dirty great bunch of fives right up to you,
Harold!
Harold, you couldn't wait, could you? Well, you're not going to get anything now.
I thought you was at the hospital.
So yeah, unless you can't wait, you opened it already.
Yeah, he's got a will in it, but it's like the first line he's having a go, and he doesn't miss a chance.
Now, am I right in thinking well, obviously we're watching this out of sound, but this is actually Harry H. Corbett narrating this, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember this. I've heard this on the radio and then like watched it on telly. It's weird because you've got Albert mouthing the words, but then Harry H. Corbett reading it out, but he's not there.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's I think
way of doing it.
He's saying about his estate, he wants to give 15% to Harold Wilson.
Harold Wilson and the Labour Party. Yeah. That's loyal to the cause, I suppose. You know, that's it. So.
The party, as he says. My half of Steptoe and Son, which ironically, as we find out, he's not even Steptoe and Son, is he?
No.
It's the mum and Albert, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I love that bit.
Lovely cut there, isn't it? Into a fully recovered Harold.
Yeah.
He's got a spring in his step.
He's holding his fist to Albert's face.
Nothing wrong with me.
So what was it then? It was that necklace, wasn't it? All
So
along.
that necklace, yeah, which he said he made
Tag.
the old man made him wear in case he got lost.
So yeah, they're all happy now. You've got Albert, welcome home, son. I'll go and make you some tea.
Well, there's going to be a sting in the tail, isn't there? Because the old man's acted in his absence. You can't go to bed.
I want to go to bed. You can't.
I burnt it.
Welcome home, son.
This tea is stone cold.
I'll make some more.
No bother. I'm going to bed. I'm dog tired. I didn't get any sleep last night through worrying about it.
Harold, you can't go to bed.
Why not?
I burned it. Harold,
You did what?
I burned all your clothes as well.
McCrash velvet flare lines. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Like the way he throws that plate at the door.
That was it. It's just a pause and just turn on it, and he's got his clothes as well.
Yeah. Again, I wonder if like that was the
Yeah, I know.
That could have gone really wrong there.
But we were into a sort of classic little bit of a fight. Stroke chase scene there. What I couldn't understand though is surely Harold's walked past that on his way back in.
We got the bed in the middle of the yard, so like you said, he would have had to have gone past that.
So yeah, we have to
get in the house, but we'll ignore that error.
Yeah, no problem.
He's proper set fire to it, mine, isn't he? He's like
Yeah.
Even like the quilt and the bed, everything.
But then, like you say, in future episodes, he doesn't seem bothered because I remember he was going to get when his bed broke. He said, "Oh, we'll just get a new one off the round."
It's wait a while, yeah.
It's, clearly very flexible.
So yeah,
his approach, but there we are.
I do love that episode.
It's a good one, isn't it? It's because it's quite a difficult topic, disease and illness and stuff, but it has some good laughs. I think the stuff in the actual testing centre is really good. The interaction with the nurses.
I think that's probably my favourite bit is the interaction in the mobile X-ray bit, because again you've got the old man trying to pair off his son.
Yeah,
but he tries it on with her first.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
He's still enjoying himself, love.
Yeah.
Any standout bits in that for you? Any one-liners?
Probably just My favourite one-liner was "That's it, that's it, madam, whatever her name is, chop his head off or something."
Yeah, I'm sure that's
stuff like you
ad-lib.
say. It seems to be, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it does. It does work really well, and
Because it just comes out of nowhere, doesn't it?
it does. What about yourself?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, the that bit, I didn't notice until you said where they're walking into that X-ray bit at the moment, and he sort of kicks him in.
Oh yeah, he's a proper brutal,
just little
Jacksy,
like that. Yeah, you don't notice, but yeah, the interaction between them, and then you've got the sort of younger woman, then it cuts to the old woman, and Harold's like, no,
no,
bit sexist.
Well, that's it. Yeah, there we are.
So, yeah, so that's those two episodes: Death in the Family and To Be or Not to Be.
Are we having a skim through the other episodes?
Yeah, we could do. So I've got, yeah, was this 7 again? I think it's 7 episodes, isn't it?
7, yeah. So we had Death in the Family kicking us off. Then we had A Winter's Tale.
Hang on.
Which is this.
So yeah, so we've got series 5. So sorry, how many episodes, mate?
7. Yeah. 7.
Yeah, Death in the Family. Then we've got A Winter's Tale. Is that a skiing holiday, isn't it?
That's a skiing holiday, which I feel is kind of really sort of retreaded in the Christmas special of 74, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it does ring a bell.
And I do remember they remade this, and if you remember watching this, they remade this in about 2016 when they were doing a sitcom season on the BBC, and they had 2 sort of actors playing Harold and Albert. But it was just really interesting way of doing it, actually to refilm the episode with new actors.
Yeah, I think it does ring a bell. I'm sure I've seen it, but I'll have to watch it again, I think.
Yeah, no, it holds up well. It's good. Yeah.
And then we've got next one. It's March 1970. We've got Any Old Iron.
Any Old Iron. Yeah, that's a good one.
So I think the iron bit in it is Ryman slang for iron earth.
Oh, okay. Didn't pick up on that.
Obviously, it's the one with the gay man. So yeah, iron earth perf, as they used to say. But yeah, so that when Timothy Stanhope, an elderly antique dealer, comes to Steptoe's yard. Oh, so he's gay, and I think he fancies Harold, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, which again it's interesting, isn't it? That you got Wilford Bramble playing sort of slightly homophobic character, but as we know in real life, was gay himself. So I was wondering how he dealt with doing that sort of stuff. But.
Yeah, there's a bit in the book about it. He said about how because the guy that plays him, he's a brilliant actor, and he doesn't, even though he's effeminate, it's not a bit like like John Inman and what's that other guy, the very, very camp
Larry Grayson.
He doesn't sort of play him like that. I mean, he's obviously effeminate, but he's not overboard. So he's it hasn't aged well, but it's not overly.
No, it's not. It's not an offensive stereotype, is it at all? So
he's quite, the gay guy in it is, a well-heeled sort of man who's done well in life, and but I think doesn't Harold get a handbag in that one as well?
He does. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, it's a good episode that, but I'd imagine at the time it probably wasn't repeated a lot.
No, this is just true. Yeah.
They've got the next one, so episode 4, Steptoe and Son, with Daphne.
Yeah, this one, I don't know what you feel about this one. It just feels a little bit not all that Steptoe to me, this one, because it brings in characters from the outside that seem a little bit more broader, almost like it's, I don't know.
Is that the one is that Harold goes to accept that the baby?
Basically, pretty much he's about to marry. They're about to marry. And then his mate turns up and takes responsibility for it all. And that's it.
Because on the radio version, I think it's Ray Galton plays the mate.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he comes out, he's like, oh, Harold, I can't let you do it. The baby's mine. But there's like a really sad bit in that where the old man who's like fighting it the whole time, he's saying, give her a couple of quid and send her on her way. And then he accepts it, doesn't he? He accepts it. And then they're looking at baby clothes.
Yeah, that's it. So it's sort of his opportunity to again get out, isn't it? And any opportunity seems to get taken away from him, doesn't it? Yeah,
another one.
It's just bad luck. But
then we've got The Colour Problem.
Yeah, I really enjoy this one. Basically, the old man wants a telly, and I'll call a telly, and Harold's about to buy a sports car. So it's that. Yeah, tricky one. Does he do the right thing and sacrifice his car, or does he do something for himself for a change?
It's the lengths Albert goes to on it to sort of manipulate, because I think he fakes amnesia, doesn't he, and ends up in hospital.
He does. There's a great little bit, sort of like, "Who are you? Who am I? Who's that?"
Yeah. Oh yeah, didn't he say, "I remember
Never
the
heard of him.
horse"?
Never heard of him. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember the horse, but I don't remember you.
That's it. But he gets caught out because he shouldn't have remembered about the car, and he does.
Oh.
So that's what does him in the end.
Yeah. Good. And then we come to TB or Not to Be that we reviewed.
Absolutely.
And it finishes with Men of Property.
Now, I often get this one mistaken for the one in Series 6 where they do go and look for a house. This is more about the fact they've run out of money and they need to
the overdraft.
mortgage a house or something, don't they? So, yeah, it's all about visiting the bank manager, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. They're trying to sort of fleece him.
As a nice little sting at the end, doesn't it? That they finally get him to agree to the overdraft, and then they go to the casino after they've been for a meal with him, and the old man blows away about 700 quid.
So yeah, back to square one.
Back to square one. He says something like, "I've got to take out a loan for $1,500 to get us back to where we were before the postman came this morning." Which is amazing. The damage that can be done in 24 hours.
You call them casinos.
Yeah.
God. But no,
yeah.
Good series, I thought. Again, like you got the 5-year gap, and in between. Another sort of note I made was that at this point now, Harry H. Corbett is commanding £1,250 per episode.
Yeah, I do remember reading that in Robert Ross's book. Yeah, that's right.
So he is on a good, I think, which is more than Bramble.
Right. Yeah.
And then the other sort of note I made was about in 1962. They said Harold was 37. And then now in sort of 1970, he's 39. So like we said before about the age is really fluid, and we're about
it's jumping around, isn't it? Yeah.
And I think Gotland Simpson comment on that about how there is one where he says he served in the Second World War, but then if you work out his age, he couldn't have. So they said it's Malaya.
Because they said something like, "Oh yeah, they got me in the next lot," because it was in the one we did last week, wasn't it?
But he would have been too young when if he would have been
ages. Yeah.
But then they sort of cover it by saying, he served in Malaya, did 2 years or 4 years in the army.
Yes, no, that's it. That would have fitted, wouldn't it? That'd made much more sense. But yeah, I suppose when you're writing these things, you don't know that people are gonna.
No, that's it.
50 years later, do you?
But it's a bit like The Simpsons, how they sort of, they've been that age since 1989.
Oh gosh, I mean, yeah, they should be. Bart should be like in the late 30s, 40s, shouldn't he by now?
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? But yeah, you don't want them to ever grow up.
That's weird. But no, good series. That, as I said, it's not my favorite, but it is a good return.
Yeah, I think it's one I'm going to have to just make an effort to watch more when I do rewatch them. Just because there are some great little bits in there, and now I know they're in colour, and I can go and look them up. So
the colour problem.
Got a problem indeed. Yeah. So, have we got time for the Skinner's Arms quiz?
Yeah, I'll get a pint in. I think I'll have
get a pint, mate.
I'll have a pint of mild in a half pint glass.
Very nice, mate. I'm gonna have a drop of old Johnny Walker's. I think tonight. A bit of
no gold watch.
No gold watch tonight, mate. No. Stick with the Johnny Walker.
God bless you and the devil miss you.
That's the one. So yeah, I've only got 8 this week. Just keep it a little bit tighter. So yeah, here we go then. Eyes down for full house. So question 1: what is the brand of cat food that Harold watches on TV?
I think it's Super Cat.
That is indeed Super Cat, mate. Well done. Yeah, because you actually said it out loud as well. So I thought, yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Question 2: what is the name of the Steptoe's new horse? What is it finally settled upon?
Oh, they settle on Hercules II.
Well, that was the name of the foal.
Oh, so it's Delilah?
Delilah. Yeah.
Do you know what? This confused me over the years because I talking about this like to my dad and all, and like obviously the first horse was Samson.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what else does he go to name it? So there's Samson, Delilah, Hercules. No, the first horse was Hercules, wasn't it?
First was Hercules, yeah, that's right. And then,
that's what I mean. It just confuses me.
Yeah, no, this is it. I don't think they really name check again. They used to name check Hercules a lot, but I think now Delilah's here, they don't really mention.
Because especially if you watch them out of order. So I didn't watch them in order.
Yeah, no, this is it. Yeah. Okay, question 3. Slightly tricky one. Do you know what age Albert started smoking? He does mention it.
I'd have to get. Is it? Does he say 8?
Think about what film they watched a few series back, and I think this is deliberately done.
8.5.
8.5.
Is it?
Oh my god! I don't know if you picked up on that, mate, but I absolutely hit the roof when I saw that. Yeah, he says I was 8.5 when I started. I thought, yes,
that's well spotted. Yeah,
I really hope that's deliberate. Unless it's just a coincidence. But
Federico Fellini. 8.5.
Fantastic.
God.
Yeah.
That's come up so much, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Right. Right. Slightly more tricky one. Question 4. What picture does Albert burn unintentionally in Any Old Iron? So Harold thinks he's got a something picture, and the old man comes through with a blow lamp and inadvertently sets fire to it. But do you know what it was? He said it was.
God, I know he makes a joke about the name of it.
He does, because he says, yeah, that's right.
I can't think. Is it something like Burns or something? Burns?
Yeah, you got halfway there, mate. It's a Burn Jones, but it actually says Burt Jones on it. So.
That's brilliant.
Look closely, that says Burt Jones. But,
I only remember because I remember him burning it, and then he says now it's more burnt. And...
Yeah, it's now more burnt than Jones. That's it. Yeah, great stuff. Okay, question 5. What is the name of the lady who informs Harold he is to be a father?
I think it was Daphne.
Daphne, very good.
Yeah, I just read that. Thank Christ.
Do you recognise who that was?
Yeah, was she in?
Where we've seen her before, or we will see her again, even.
No, I don't know. I'm sure.
Rising Damp. She plays plays another mother in Rising Damp. You know, in the episode where Rigsby comes back off holiday and Miss Jones is back, and
oh God, yeah.
Yeah, they lease out the rooms. Phillips.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, she's
the mother in that as well. She's got a baby there as well, and similar premise because someone comes back from the Navy and it's the dad.
That's such a weird coincidence.
It is a weird coincidence, isn't it? Yeah.
It's got to be what? How many years apart in that?
Not much. Probably about 5-6 years. Yeah.
Yeah. God, imagine that. Like, can you replay what you did in Steptoe?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Question 6. What type of car did Albert used to own? It does mention in the colour problem.
Oh God, it was
tricky one, that one, mate. Sorry.
I'm sure. Yeah, I was listening to the radio version. I'm sure it was. Was it like I don't want to say dragonfly, but it was something like that. Wasn't it?
It is a sort of animal, yeah, or an animal, insect, in fact.
Oh, it's gone. No, I don't.
Sorry, mate. It's a Triumph Gnat.
Gnat. Oh, that's it.
Gnat, which is quite distinctive, isn't it?
Yeah. I wonder what that looked like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did he reach the pedals?
Well, he did say he used to be 6 foot, didn't he? And he's shrinking.
Oh yeah, he's a strapping 6-footer.
Yeah. Apart from the fact his army outfit still fitted him.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
Okay. In Men of Property, what game are Harold and Albert playing at the beginning?
Scrabble.
Ooh, it's not Scrabble, mate.
Oh no, it's not. I was thinking of Men of Letters? The other one.
Men of Letters. That's interesting because that's a similar title, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I go. Is it at a bridge?
No, Monopoly, which is.
Oh God.
Obviously, it's all about like they're trying to sort of remortgage the house or whatever. But
yeah. I think he's Like, and Albert absolutely murdering him at Monopoly.
Oh, he is. In fact, there's a joke in the episode when he says something about they're going to go gambling. He says something like, "Yeah, just remember, you're not playing with Monopoly money now; it's real money. So you watch yourself."
Yeah, God.
And then finally, in the same episode, which acquaintance do Harold and Albert bump into while waiting to see the bank manager? So he's just coming out as they're about to go in. He must be a fellow rag and bone man, I guess. But
is it the gangster Charlie Miller?
Charlie Miller, the very
Charlie
same.
Miller.
Very good, mate. Yeah.
So I think he gives him the idea for fleecing the new bank manager, doesn't he?
That's right. He said, "I've just done him for like 300 quid or something." So, yeah. So that was pretty good, mate. I think it was 6 out of 8. So yeah, really good.
Oh, brilliant! Oh, that's all right. Not too bad. So it's good questions, though. Tough, some of them.
Well, I tried to sort of mix it around a little bit. It's okay, trickier because I didn't know this series as well. I say, but I'm not slightly embarrassed to admit it's not one I know as well as other series. Probably know the least this one, so yeah, to dig a little deeper in it. But there's some good stuff in there.
No, it's good. So next week we're looking at series 6.
Absolutely.
So we got episode 1, robbery with violence. That's a brilliant one.
That's a very, very good one. Yeah.
They're all solid. These are just having a look at them.
They are. There's the Labour and Tory episodes. Yeah. There's the trying to get on in the world. In fact, the top-rated episode of IMDb is Without Prejudice.
Got Come Dancing. That's another good one.
I mean, we have said Pot Black has got to be in there.
What else we got? Three Feathers. Oh, that's the commode, isn't it?
That is one of my favourite episodes, actually. I think just because of the con that goes on.
It's really clever, that, isn't it? The con.
It is really clever. Yeah.
And then you've got Cuckoo in a Nest.
Again, another good one. You've got the sort of brash Australian chap coming over, claiming to be his long lost brother. Yeah. So I don't mind, mate. I'd say Pot Black's my favourite in there. So
I think we'll have to go with Cuckoo in the Nest.
Cuckoo in the Nest. Very good. Yeah, the robbery with violence is a good one.
That is brilliant. Yeah.
So we could do robbery with violence and Cuckoo in the Nest. That's literally the book ends it.
I love the Australian guy in Cuckoo in the Nest.
Yeah, it's a very memorable guest episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it must be true. I always wondered because it's never referred to again. Obviously, he does have a half brother. Obviously we never see it again. But
I've always been an only child.
It's never revealed, is it? At the end, it's a con. It seems like it's a con, but yeah, I always felt that.